Let's talk a little bit about Facebook. Not so much the Facebook, the application where you message each other and you talk to each other. Family join and they share pictures and people share gossip and all untruths or truths or whatever it is. I don't know. Let's talk a little bit about Facebook marketing. You know, in the day, and maybe it still is Craigslist. You know, you used to be able to go out to Craigslist and you were able to list stuff and able to sell it and everything was good, right? Well, not really. Before that, there was paper. You have to run an ad and it costs you so much money and you'd run an ad and you sell stuff and hopefully people would call you. And I don't know when it happened. I'm even going to try to even explain how it happened. Or what happened. But it came to be to where nowadays, and maybe there's a different way, maybe somebody can comment below. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Share. Watch the other videos. I'm going to put a link right up here, I think it is. I'm not real sure, because last time I did it, it was like the opposite side. You know. But anyhow, yeah, share, like, subscribe. I mean, we're here to talk about stuff, right? And again, I don't know when it happened. I don't know when the transition happened from you know, you had paper, you deliver, you know, you ran your ads in the paper, hope somebody come and they buy, and then it went to Craigslist and it was online, and then it was eBay, a big thing on eBay. And you still can sell stuff on eBay, which I have. I sell some stuff on eBay. But for most of us, if we have used stuff, right, and I'm sure all of you had this, if you have used stuff, what do? You list it, you take a picture of it, you list it on Facebook Market. You get in these groups, in these area groups, and you list it out there, and you know, it's kind of anonymous in a way. I mean, they have your user ID, but they have no phone number and not even an address or anything like that. So it's actually kind of cool. And for probably, I don't know, it ain't a very high percentage. I would say 50%, maybe 50%. There's never an issue. Ever an issue. You know, you list something and people are interested, they contact you, and you send them the address, they come and get it, or you meet them someplace, and a transaction takes place. Transaction happens. You get rid of your stuff, right? Well, you know, as I said, for the most part, I don't even know what the most part. You know, I'm going to tell a few stories here today about a few things that I've done, or I've sold on Facebook. And I'm sure we all have stories, and I'd love to hear them down below. Because, I mean, I was in a conversation with a buddy of mine, we were talking about this, and we were talking about this video that I was going to make, and about his experience on selling stuff. And one of the things that I find sometimes very offensive is if you're selling something for, let's say, $5,000, you got a vehicle, you got a trailer, you got something that you're selling for $5,000, all right? Hopefully, and most of us has probably done some little bit of homework, all right? We know, we've looked it up online, we looked what other people are selling them for, we've okay, you know, and we're not going to give you the low ball all the way because, you know, we want a little bit of room for negotiation a little bit. So let's say that on this $5,000 thing that I have that I'm selling, I have it listed out there, and somebody comes in, I'll give you $2,000 cash today. No, you won't. I'm selling it for $5,000. You're not even close. You're not even in the ballpark. You just wasted my time. I don't know how many. I mean, if this works for people, maybe they do a little bunch. Maybe it actually works. I don't know. I don't think. I don't know how it would. Anybody that I know that sells stuff, they ain't gonna sell if it's listed for $5,000. They're not gonna sell it for $2,000, unless it's something that's only worth $2,000 and they're selling it for $5,000. Then I don't think that. I think maybe they had a few barley pops when they were looking it up or something, right? But you know, the thing that I find really kind of frustrating more than any of this. I mean, that's frustrating. The low balls are really frustrating. And then when you say no, they come back and argue with you. It's just like, I've had to block so many people because they're low balls and they won't stop. They just won't stop. And every one of them that I blocked, that item has actually sold for close to the price that I listed it for. So, I mean, I have one that hasn't, but that one, I don't know. I don't even care. I mean, I'm going to get into that here probably also. One of the ones that I find a lot of frustrating, and maybe a lot of you've had this too. Sometimes I clean out the garage, I'll clean out a shed, I'll clean out a basement, and I'll find a bunch of stuff that I don't really want to give away. I don't want to throw. I mean, I'll give it away. I guess I don't care. But to a lot of times it's like, okay, I know this is worth $30, $40 or whatever it is. I'll take a picture of it and I'll sell it for $5 just to get rid of it. Not just to get rid of it, but you know, maybe, excuse me, give it a second life, right? And if it's really a popular one, I will get so many. Is this available? 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 All right, I'll come and get it. All right. Here, come and get it. Oh, I can't. Do you know how many times, and my wife, she sells plants on eBay. Not eBay. She sells plants on Facebook, and she's done it every year. It's a hobby of hers. I mean, makes enough money to buy dirt and stuff. I mean, it's just a hobby, right? But there is so many times. If somebody says they're going to show up on a Monday or a Friday, more than likely they won't. Prove me wrong. I mean, tell me your story. Maybe you don't have that issue. We have. I mean, not always, but sometimes. Actually, more times than you think, I think. But if there are so many times that people, especially for something for $5, that there's so many excuses. There is so many flat tires, the cars broke down, problems with family. You know, no, just tell me you don't want it no more. And I'm not going to hold it for you. All right? I will keep it and not sell it to somebody else if you are on your way. If you are coming to get it, you say you're coming to get it, I will keep it. I will not sell it to somebody else. And you people, shame on you. Well, I'll give you 10 instead of 5. Why would I want to do that? I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me. Do they do that? Maybe they do that to me. And it's standard. It's just, you know what I mean? I think you understand what I'm talking about. It's something silly. Now, I'm gonna tell a story here a little bit about this sign that I have. And this is the one I haven't sold yet. I've had it listed for a while. I don't really care if it sells, to be honest with you. I've used it over the last 10 years or so. This digital sign is in its day, it was probably $3,000 or $4,000 sign. All right. You type in the words that you want, the little icons or whatever, and you send it to the sign from a computer, and it runs, right? All right. So this is an expensive sign, and I inherited it, or I got it when I had my business. I didn't pay that for it, right? In fact, I got it from a pawn shop next door, and it was broke. It was actually, to be honest with you, it wasn't really broke. One of the boards didn't work. There's a little panel in there that didn't work. It wasn't plugged in. Somehow it vibrated out or something. I don't know. It just didn't work. So it just like, well, I had it in the shop. And when I closed, I shuttered the shops. I kept it, right? I tried to sell it at the time, but I think I wanted $1,000 for it or something like that. Nobody wants to pay that. They don't have a problem going out and borrowing the money from these sign companies, and paying $3,000 or $4,000 for something, but they don't want to pay you for it, right? But that's okay. I get that. I don't want to do that either. I want to get my lowest thing. I want to get the lowest thing I can get. But anyhow, I decided, I don't know, it was probably 2 or 3 months ago. I was cleaning out some stuff from the shop, some shelf that I just kept in boxes and whatever. And I pulled it out and I said, you know what? I turned it on, it still worked. I sent a program to it, it still functions great. It's awesome sign. I said, you know what? I'm going to try to sell this. I'm just going to try to sell it because it's just going to sit here on the shelf for another 10 years. So I'm going to try to sell it, right? So I go out there and I do my investigation. My little investigation. I go out to eBay and I go out on the web and I find a sign just like it. I find signs just like it. And I find them in the range from $1,500 to $500. Nothing less than $500 anywhere out there. So I listed on Facebook for $500. You would think that a sign like that would probably fetch that. And maybe I didn't take a good enough picture. I don't really know. It's one of them ones that sells. It'll go back on the shelf, right? I have used it over the last 10 years periodically for different things like, different events that the kids has had and stuff like that. So, it doesn't hurt anything where it is. But, if I sell it, I sell it. I can always use $300 and buy something a DIY for the other channel and make a video out of it or something. That's how I do stuff, I guess. So anyhow, I had it listed for $500, and I'd got no traction at all. None. No traction at all for a couple months, right? And I know that a lot of times if you reduce the cost a little bit, it'll bring it back up, and people will be interested in it and whatnots, and so anyhow, I dropped the price to $300. I don't know why, I just did. It doesn't mean it's worth less. It's just I dropped it to $300. I actually told myself I said, you don't really need it. So I dropped it to $300. Instantly, I started getting, messages on it. I was getting messages though. Will you take $100 for it? No. Will you take $150? No. I said I'll take $300 for it. I just dropped it from $500 to $300. I'll take $300 for it. Well, I probably got, 20 messages that was all lower. And then I had this one gentleman. I got out there, I'll give you $200. I said, no, you won't. I said, I want $300 for it. Well, the market says $200. Okay. I want $300 for it. For some reason, I was just stuck on this $300 thing, right? Because, sometimes you don't really care whether you make money or not. You just, the principle of the matter that I know what it's worth. And I just, maybe it is only worth $200, but to me it's worth $300, right? You ain't going to find another one anywhere for that price. And that's my point. You're not going to find another one anywhere for that price. So anyhow, this guy I said, no, I'm going to wait, a few weeks, whatever. And I mean, it was a week later, he emailed me, he messaged me back and said, you want to take $200 for it now? And I said, no, $300. Well, you're not going to sell it. Okay, I won't sell it. I'm not in a hurry. And then he kept messaging me back and saying, well, market, blah, 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 blah. I don't know exactly. I blocked him, of course. Which I don't like doing that. But, there comes a point to where, I mean, he was basically telling me that I can't sell it for $300. And maybe I can't, but I can list it for $300. And for one thing, I don't negotiate prices over the Facebook. I'm not gonna tell you, and I'm gonna give you an example of the same sign is why I don't do that. All right, and so here we go progress a few weeks, and I still get probably 3 or 4, maybe at least 2 a day on this sign. I don't understand. Everybody's interested, and then you talk to them about it, and then you never hear anymore. Just crickets, right? You send them messages, you send them all these replies. I've wasted more time on it than it's worth, I think. But anyhow, there's this one guy that ran. I think I always look at profiles because there's a lot of scams out there, right? And I think he ran like a sandwich. I don't know, some food vendor type thing on a trailer on the road. I don't know exactly, because all these are usually business people that want this sign. And here he is. We went back and forth. He started at $150, and we kept going back and forth and back and forth. I said, no, 300. And every time he came back with more, right? And here it is. I think it was probably 11 o'clock one night. I think I had a couple barley pops. And the guy said $250. Okay, all right. Give me $250. I'm gonna get this off of here. I don't want to deal with it anymore. $250. And I said, well, when can you pick it up? Well, what's the address? I said, the address. And when these are listed, they're listed the city they're in, right? And I sent him the address, and I bet it was 5-10 minutes later, he emailed me back or messaged me back and said, can you meet me halfway? Halfway for where? No, I didn't hear a response. I said, if you want me to meet you halfway, I need to know where the heck I got to go. I'm not going to do it. I didn't really tell him that, but I wasn't going to do it. But I never heard another word out. I never heard nothing more. Nothing more. After all that conversation and all that stuff, I never heard anything more. I still have the sign. Eventually, I almost guarantee you, eventually I will sell it for $300. Somebody will come and buy it for $300. I mean, it's to me right now, it's a principle thing. It's more or less just, hey, I'm going to get $300 out of it, or it's going to sit on the shelf and rot. I mean, I know a lot of you probably say, oh, you take it. No, I don't need the money. I don't care. I can always use the money. I mean, I'm not rich, but I don't really. It's something that it's not costing me anything to keep it. I don't know if I said something. I'm talking about the tires from Walmart. I mentioned something about needing tires for the Spark, right? Well, I had the Spark out there. My son's older car. I mean, we built him a truck, and check out the DIY channel. You'll see that we just built him a truck. Basically took 2 trucks together and built a truck. But we had the Spark. All right. We had a Spark for sale, and I've had it for sale for probably, I don't know, probably 45 days or whatnot. I mean, I didn't want a lot of money for it. I think it was $3,900, something like that. I can't remember exactly. Anyhow, about a month ago, I was getting some calls on it, but mostly it was Lowballs, like I was talking about earlier. I got a few that was close to 3,000 or something. But I still would, I mean, I just had listed it, and there's no way I'm going to go down $3,000 and lose $1,000 right away. So I think probably about 4 weeks ago or so, I lowered the price to $3,500. All right, and I lowered the price to $3,500, and I started getting a lot of responses. A lot of people wanting to come. I mean, there's people that, I mean, I swear that people don't understand, and I only post to places around here, and I know people share stuff, but I had people from 300 or 400 miles away in a conversation with about coming. One person actually set up a meeting with me. I gave him the address, set up a meeting with me to come look at the car, and he was 300 miles away. Oh, so I don't know if people look at that, but I needed that Spark eventually. I sold the Spark on Sunday, and I took a little less for it than the 3,500. Is because I actually ruined one of the tires on there, hence I needed tires. So I ruined one of the tires just because I was me being me, I guess. So I told the person that was going to buy it, I said, I'll buy tires for it. I said, so I you know what I did? I gave him the money for the tire. Well, I took it off the price of the car. But you know, what was interesting to me more than anything, and this is just more talking, no so much fussing, because Facebook, the tool, is awesome. But let's think about something. Let's think outside the box. Why does Google not have something like that? We all have accounts there. All of us probably have some type of Gmail account. If not, I mean, we could, right? How come Google don't set something up like that? I mean, just think about that. That would be awesome. I think they would. I think they would sweep the market. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they tried it. Maybe they couldn't. But I'm telling you that these lowball offers, people not showing up. And I talked a little bit about the truck that we rebuilt, and I was actually going to park I had a donor truck. I mean, there's 3 or 4 videos on there. Please watch them. Please do. They're actually, I like them. I made them, I guess. But I ended up with an extra truck, right? And it was probably not the best. It may not have been roadworthy. I was going to part it out and sell the parts. So I mean, I listed it on Facebook, and I listed all these different parts that I already had pulled off of it, and prices and somewhat. Well, I put it on for sale, right? And I mean, I started getting flooded with people wanting stuff. But of course, nobody wanted anything I had listed. They wanted something else on the truck, which I didn't care because the truck was sitting out there, right? Well, I mean, I had people come and I did that for one afternoon. No respect, I told a person not to do something. They ended up dumping transmission fluid all over my garage. I mean, it was just because I had an extra transmission set. It was just unreal on what was going down. I had a person right the day I listed it. I had a luggage rack and a couple other parts off the truck, and they wanted another part around the steering column. I took them off. I got them. They okay. I'll pick them up. I'll pick them up on Friday. Here's their Friday thing. And this was Monday or whatever. I said, I don't usually hold things for anybody, but given the situation that I had I'll pull them off for you and we'll set them aside. Now, if somebody else wants them, I'm going to give you a message back, and you're going to have to come and get them that day. Otherwise, I'm going to sell them to the person. Right? Yeah, okay, cool. So here comes Wednesday. This is like Monday that they contacted, or Monday I listed it or whatever. And here comes Wednesday. The guy messaged me again and said, okay, are we still good for Friday at X amount of time? I think it was at 6 o'clock at night. Sure, I'm still good. I have everything off the truck. It's ready to go. It's sitting in a pile. It's ready to go. 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock Friday afternoon. Oh, I can't make it tonight. How about Monday? I messaged him back. I said, well, here's the situation. Message me Monday and to see if I still have it. That's all I said. Never heard from him again. I delisted the truck because I just sold the whole thing for a lot less than I could have if I parted it, but I wasn't gonna. I mean, it was like, there's some people that deal with that. I just couldn't deal with it. I couldn't deal with people coming in and no regard for anything else that you have on that truck or anything, no regard for anything else but what they want. So anyhow, I didn't do that no more. I mean, there's a lot of people that do it. Good for you. I mean, I hope it works. I mean, let me know your stories. Let me know, because I had a bunch of successful ones too. I mean, there's a lot of them that I've listed it, and I've gotten lots of response, and the next day it's gone. I've had things gone within an hour. But I've also had things that for $5 that I have 150 messages, and I've already spent 3 days of answering people, and I still have it. So let me know your stories. Let's find out. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that in the comments. Let's talk about your stories. Let's talk about, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe you have a little trick that you don't end up with these problems. That'd be cool. Well, I'm going to wrap this one up. And we have a bunch of other stuff I want to talk about. I have an interesting story about a doctor's visit that my son just had, and getting a release note and stuff like that, and the things that we had to jump through after they messed up the note. So, I mean, that's going to be an interesting one. And these ain't all just fuss sessions. These are just talking sessions, right? I mean, talking, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe you guys have some tricks, So, well, until next time, God bless. Thank you.